Oi, gente. A gente vai começar, então, agora o primeiro dia da Feira de Intercâmbio. O meu nome é Lucas, eu sou o Neo-Out da SEV. Significa que eu sou a pessoa que faz as burocracias de quem está saindo do Brasil para fazer intercâmbio. E o Renato, ele é o meu assistente, ele é normalmente quem conversa com as Cleves e passa o que precisa ser feito para mim. Quer se apresentar, Renato?
Meu nome é Renato e eu sou estudante da Unifal e eu acho que é isso, eu tô aqui e eu ajudo o Lucas na DENEM.
Então, eu vou fazer uma apresentação rápida da feira, como ela vai ser, e aí a gente já começa com o nosso primeiro convidado, que é do Marrocos. Então, a feira ela vai ter uma duração de 4 semanas, ela vai ser toda quarta e quinta. O horário ele vai variar por conta do fuso horário dos países, né? Como cada semana vai ser um continente diferente, daí vai ter, alguns vão começar à noite, outros vão começar de manhã, mas tudo isso vai ser divulgado no Instagram da DENEM. No final da semana, ou da semana que vem, já deve ser divulgado e vai continuar assim até o final. E a Feira de Intercâmbios ela vai ter certificado. Para quem quiser o certificado, tem que ter pelo menos 80% de presença na feira, então significa que tem que ter 6 dos 8 dias, no mínimo, e os dias vão ser contabilizados por 2 formulários de presença que a gente vai enviar, um no começo e um no final das apresentações do dia. Então, para você ter a presença do dia, você precisa ter print dos 2 formulários, senão você não vai ter a presença. Em relação às perguntas, eu vou mandar agora um formulário que vocês podem mandar a pergunta em inglês, caso você tenha alguma pergunta para a pessoa que está falando sobre o país, ou você pode mandar diretamente no chat. A gente vai ver os dois, e depois que o participante ele terminar a apresentação dele, ele vai começar um tempinho de pergunta até que dê o horário da próxima apresentação. Então, é isso. Quer falar mais alguma coisa, Renato?
Não, você já abarcou tudo.
Então, obrigado por todo mundo que está participando, e eu espero que seja proveitoso para vocês. Agora eu vou chamar o convidado, então eu vou começar a falar em inglês, tá bom? So, we're starting now. Hey, how are you doing? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so my name is Mehdi. I am actually from Tunisia, not from Morocco, but I study in Morocco. And I also wanna say sorry that I don't speak Portuguese. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that in Portuguese. I would love to learn it someday, so maybe in the future. I am the treasurer elect of Marrakesh and the actual Leo out of Marrakesh, and hopefully soon to be Neo, waiting for the General Assembly. So I'll be sharing my screen to do the presentation. Just one moment, sorry.
Okay, so I just told them before that we're having the presentation and some time for the questions.
Yeah, sure, of course.
You can start whenever you want to, and thank you for taking your time for this.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll try to be as short as possible, so I do not bore you. Sometimes I can start talking and it never stops. So this is 6 reasons why to choose Morocco, and this presentation was made by our 2 amazing glory, Wisal and Sana, also by myself. So So Morocco is a very diverse culture, and each city has its own flavor. As you can see here, like we have pictures from different cities. Like we have Casablanca bottom left and Marrakesh top right, and although some other major cities in Morocco. And we have like 6 different LCs, and we are increasing to 8. And hopefully we will be also adding the private med schools to possibly include them also, so that way we'll be able to accept a lot of incomings. So Morocco is a 4-in-1 4-in-1. So it's the full package. Like you have the desert, you have the greenery, you have the beaches, also you have the culture. And this is not really known, but also we have snow, and we have Atlas Mountains, and a lot of people come each winter to the Atlas Mountains. And there is also a lot of trips, like there is Chefchaouen, Marzouga, Saadia, Marrakesh. Like those countries are really amazing. Those cities are really amazing. Also, there is different activities from purchasing and old stuff and cultural and traditional stuff to doing henna, which you see in the top screen left. Also, of course, Marrakesh, for example, is known for parties, and we have like swimming pools and stuff like you can really enjoy. Also, we have a lot of different dances and different music that probably you will not find in every other country. Like for example, for myself that come from Tunisia, like the dances and music that I found in Morocco are really different from ours and other countries. Here you can see some posts from our incomings in the past years that they are that they, like you can see, they enjoyed themselves and really participated. Some of them come summer, which of course is the period we don't have exams, so that way we can really have them and enjoy the time with them without having the stress of exams. As med students, sometimes the stress just becomes overwhelming and we cannot have a lot of time and stuff. Also, Morocco has really different food culture, I'll say. The Moroccan cuisine is really different, and I personally tasted some Brazilian food while I was traveling, although it is not in Brazil, so I'll say that it's of course very different from the original stuff. But having tasted the Brazilian food and stuff, I'll say that it's pretty different, and it is really something that you should look forward and try if it's possible, because even though, for example, for myself, living in North Africa originally, our food is also different from Tunisia and other countries. So, and of course it's different from Mediterranean, although it is influenced by Mediterranean. So you can find some Italian influence and French influence, but also the Berber influence is really prominent, and you see it. And of course, I was talking about the dances. From the top one is the Marrakchi and Daqa, which is a traditional music and dance, where everybody claps and really enjoy themselves. Also there are some serpents and stuff. I don't really think that Brazil have the culture of using serpents as diverse animals to entertainment and stuff. And our devoted exchange communities are really trained, and they offer pickups, and sometimes they accompany you when it's possible for the whole exchange. Of course, that is depending on the period and stuff. And also are a big family, and almost all of our professors are English speaking, and there is upon arrival training, and upon arrival training, we will explain the difference in cultures and stuff, because as I said, Brazil and Morocco are really different, and the difference is something that you really should look for. Also, they will accompany you in the first day of internship and help you when needed, and of course there will be educational activities. So Morocco is really budget friendly compared to Brazil, because I personally was looking to come to Brazil for an exchange, but unfortunately due to COVID and stuff, it wasn't possible. And it's true that the price, the ticket price for the plane is kind of, I'll say, pricey. But if you like, you can manage and plan everything early in advance, it will be much more easier to have affordable plane tickets, and the cost of living when compared to Morocco, Morocco is really cheaper than Brazil. Also there is for example, for summer there is like 2 trips that are guaranteed, but usually, for example, for summer, every LC has around 4 to 6 trips usually. Well, I'm speaking, of course, outside of this COVID situation. I mean, like, generally incomings like really party and enjoy themselves every weekend and stuff, like, without really caring for money, because it's really affordable. And finally, we are really excited to have you, and hopefully see you soon when this COVID situation really, we hopefully it will be over soon. And if you have any questions or reaction, please do share them with me, and thank you very much.
We really want to thank you, Manjin, for your presentation. And as Lucas said before, we are going to have a section here for any questions that people from Brazil have for you. And the first one is there a national social program in your country?
Is there what?
A national social program.
Yeah, of course there is a national social program. I mean, that's kind of mandatory for every NMO, and I will allow, if you can permit, for my colleague to answer this question, because she is more informed and well aware of this.
Hello everyone. I'm sorry I joined late. So I will present myself very briefly. I am Sana. You can call me San for short. I am the acting Nouri of IFMC Morocco. I would like to answer your questions. So regarding social program, we have one trip, that is one national trip that is organized and paid by our NMO, and we have other national trips and local trips that are organized by our NMO or by our LCs, but they are paid by incomings at very affordable prices. And usually we organize these trips during the months of July and August, because we have many incomings and because they are our holidays. So we are fully available to organize and go and travel with our incomings. During the rest of the year, we're not fully available, so we don't really organize trips. We just give a little help to incomings who wish to plan and organize their own trips.
All right, thank you. And the next one is, what month do you think is the best one to go on exchange?
Do you mean like the best LC or the best like Scopy or Scory, or what do you mean by the best one? I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Well,
yeah.
Very sorry.
Come on.
Well, I mean, if you care about social program, I would say July and August, obviously. If you care about academic quality, I mean, for Scory, because I'm an acting Nouri, it depends on the project you want to apply for. If it's Scopy, I don't really know. But anyways, during August, it's our professors' holidays, so they're not available. They don't really give as much guidance as they give during the rest of the year. So if you care much about social program, I would say July and August. If you care more about academic quality, then probably don't choose August.
Also, sorry, also to add something. For example, if you come to July and August, for example, although I am from Marrakesh, like I study there and stuff. For example, for myself, like I cannot really stand the how hot Marrakesh is. For example, like in July and August, I don't really know about like the different cities in Brazil, like the difference in temperature stuff. But like really in August, I'll say Marrakesh is really best to avoid, especially in August. And for example, for us in Marrakesh, because every LC is like a little bit different from the others. For example, our clinical rotations like start from the 1st of September and end to the 31st of July. So for example, like if you come in July, like you will have some other people to interact with and stuff. If you come in August, sometimes you will not find a lot of people. So, and with the weather being really hot and stuff, I would say August, for example, for Marrakesh city is best to avoid. But like if you come in July, like everybody will be available and be working with you and like will really help you. So like go for it, especially if you want to go for like the national program and stuff.
All right. And what is the biggest challenge of living in Morocco?
That's a very hard question. Like living, not just an exchange of 1 month. The biggest challenge, I would say there are many challenges, not just one challenge. That's a really hard question, dude. I'm thinking about the challenges. Maybe Mehdi, you could help me because you were in Tunisia and then you came to Morocco because Mehdi is originally from Tunisia. I mean, he can compare. I can't compare.
but this is putting me on the spot. This is, even for me, this is a difficult questions, but I'll try to answer it as best as I could, of course. So for example, for myself, even where both of our countries are in North Africa, there is like some cultural differences, and in every country you travel, there is like cultural difference. Sometimes people can get used to those, sometimes they cannot. This is also depends on the person that is traveling. Like for me, for example, after 1 week I really like got myself into Morocco. Like I really now I almost have only Moroccan friends. Like I forgot even that I am from Tunisia at some point. And I mean, aside maybe like from the first week that you really need like to know the culture and probably like learn some Arabic like words and stuff, so they may help you guide, because as you know, like Moroccan people only speak Arabic and French, and some cases English. Of course, there is also Berber, but I don't think Brazilian people speak Berber. So yeah, I mean,
yeah. Just to answer your question, I would probably say, what are some problems? Hello, do you hear me?
Yes. Now,
hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I guess not.
We can.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what she was going to say, but anyway, I was saying
probably
that
the problems.
We can hear you, Sunny.
Okay, thank you. So probably some problems incoming phase. So I would say, first of all, when you're driving, if you ever try to drive in Morocco, it's very messy. So most of our incomes don't try to drive or rent a car, or don't even think about renting a bicycle. And for that, we usually give them help, especially during the first week. We offer them free rides to tour the cities they are having their exchange in, and then they learn to haul a cab, go around the city with the cab, with the taxi. I would say probably the culture shock. If you're not Muslim, you would probably face a little bit of culture shock. But it's not, I mean, it's not that problematic, I would say. We are very open to other cultures. I'm thinking about other problems. Cost of living is very affordable. I don't think our incomes face any problems with that.
Yes.
Um,
And sorry if I may add,
what else? Yeah.
Moroccan people are really welcoming, and this is coming from a neutral person. I mean, because like I am originally from Tunisia, so like I can really talk freely about this subject. Like I really never like, almost like aside from the first week where I kind of felt homesick. Aside from that, like, now I have been living there for 5 or 6 years. It really feels like my country, like Moroccan people are really welcoming. So even if you're coming for 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I not know, even if you're coming for a short period of time, even if alone, like Moroccan people are really welcoming. They will even invite you sometimes to their houses and like invite you food to try different food and stuff. Like they are really welcoming. So
also, if I may add one last problem before we move on to another question, I would say probably communication, because if you don't speak neither Arabic nor French, it will be very hard for you in your daily life and at the hospital or at the laboratory to communicate with other doctors, with the patients, and with people people you meet every day. I would recommend that you learn some expressions or some useful sentences in French. But otherwise, we try to put our incomings in departments where most of professors or residents they will be working on with speak English, and they can communicate with them in English. And in daily life, we try to teach our incomings during the first week some useful sentences in Arabic so they can communicate with people.
All right, thank you. The next one is, how are you dealing with COVID-19 in Morocco?
So if your question is about exchanges, we have tried many times to restart exchanges since March 2020. Unfortunately, our government has decided to like close borders for a long time, and therefore we had canceled our exchanges for that same period when borders were closed. And then very lately, like less than 1 month ago, the government decided to reopen borders, but it was kind of too late for us to restart exchanges like 1 month to prepare the exchanges for the month of August. Like in 1 month, it was really challenging. So it wasn't feasible, and we decided to cancel. But we are working now hard to restart exchanges for the next season. We are trying to communicate with professors in different LCs and see how we can reactivate exchanges all over again. If you're talking about COVID, like in general in Morocco, we have started our vaccination campaign a few months ago, and it's going good, and we have vaccinated like almost 10 million people out of 40, so that's a good number, I guess.
Okay, the next one is there any dress code for women?
Well, officially, no, there isn't like an official dress code, like legally. But I can share with you later survival books from different LCs. Maybe you can find some parts about dress code. Anyway, in big cities like I don't know, like Casablanca or Marrakesh, people are familiar with all kinds of dressing. Let's say provocative or modest or any kind of dressing. Like nobody really cares. But if you go to small villages where people are more, let's say, conservative, so it is recommended that you stick with a more modest dress code. Speaking of swimming, there isn't a specific dress code. Both burkini and bikini are welcome, but topless is not allowed. Like legally, it's not allowed.
Can we participate in exchange research? How is the exchange of practical experiences?
Yes, we are Scori active. We are a Scori active animal. The practical experience. I don't have testimonies with me like from previous incomings, but I would say it's different from one project to another, because if it's a basic science, then you usually work at a laboratory with your tutor. If it's clinical, then you may experience some work with the patient and communicate with them. We also have one gap project active at the LC of Fujda, so it's really different from one LC to another, and especially from one project to another. I can't really say it's one experience. It's a bit different from Scopy. It's not the same thing.
All right. So thank you guys for your participation here. That was all the questions that we could make.
So thank you so much. I just left your Instagram, so if people are interested, they can just follow you and see more about Morocco. Thank you so much for your time. Would you like to say something else?
I think we will send you the link of. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Can I add something? I think I'm gonna send you the Google Drive, the folder that has all the survival books from all LCs, so you can check them and know before you even apply for an exchange in Morocco. So that's all I wanted to add. Thank you very much for inviting us and for having us.
Oh, hey,
It's,
thank you so much.
Also from me, thank you guys for inviting us, and hopefully see you soon when COVID is over. Like my exchange got cancelled to Brazil, but hopefully soon I'll be there. So till then, take care and see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Então agora a gente vai começar a próxima apresentação. O formulário de pergunta ele continua o mesmo, então é só vocês entrarem lá e daí colocar a pergunta só para o país que está fazendo a apresentação. Se vocês já tiverem alguma para o próximo, vocês já podem colocar também. Não esqueçam de colocar em inglês a pergunta. E a próxima apresentação vai ser da Nigéria. Vou adicionar ele agora. Ele saiu. A gente só precisa esperar ele entrar de novo. Eu acho que ele caiu, assim que ele voltar eu já coloco ele para fazer a apresentação. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
Hello? O Nel não consigo se conectar da Nigéria. Eu deixei aqui o Instagram da Enemo. Então, se vocês tiverem alguma dúvida que vocês queiram perguntar, ou então se vocês quiserem dar uma olhada no que eles postaram, aí vocês podem entrar aí. Eu acho que ele não vai conseguir entrar mesmo, não sei o que aconteceu. Ele disse que não consegue ligar o microfone nem a câmera. Enfim, desculpa esse atraso. Daqui 10 minutos a apresentação da Serra Leoa vai começar. Eu espero que dê tudo certo. Enfim, eu vou deixar aqui o Instagram e daí quando o próximo Neo entrar, eu chamo ele. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I will just do a quick presentation, okay? So you can start. Então, a apresentação agora vai ser da Serra Leoa. É a última apresentação do dia. Amanhã a gente também vai ter 3 convidados e vai ser o mesmo horário de hoje. E daqui a pouco eu vou mandar o link do próximo formulário de presença nos comentários. Então, não esqueçam de preencher, também vai ficar aberto por 10 minutos. Okay, so would you like to introduce yourself and start your presentation?
Hello guys. I'm actually the local exchange officer for Slamza. It was supposed to be the NEO that was supposed to do this presentation, and this has just come. Like, it's like an impromptu. I don't know where he is now. So can you allow me to try to get him or something? Then I'll come back to you, please.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. So I can't really get through to Hamza, the Neo, but I have the file, but I don't know how to come about to do the presentation to post the slideshow.
Or there is a share button just below here. Can you see it? Like the my camera and then share.
Mm, not quite. I can only see remove from stream, edit name, edit audio avatar, stop mic or cam. I'm actually not using the app. I'm using the web.
Yeah. Me too.
This is bad. So maybe I can try to send it in the chat. I don't really know.
Okay, so I can share it for you.
Okay. Gosh.
Hello,
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good too, thanks. So,
I'm sorry for being late and I have
no
problem
problem.
with the connection.
Yeah, would you like to introduce yourself and start your presentation?
Yeah, sure. My name is Hamza Mansari. I'm the National Exchange Officer for Scope in the Sierra Leone Medical Student Association, SLEMSA, Sierra Leone. And so going back to the slide, let me see.
Yeah. Can you share your slides presentation? Okay.
Sorry for that. It was due to some technical faults. So we are from West Africa. Sierra Leone is part of the 16 countries in the region. And as you can see from the first page of this presentation, we have a cotton tree, which actually depicts the center of Sierra Leone, the city, to be specific, which is Freetown. And it's very iconic. And this cotton tree is found on our currency, which is the 10,000 leones note. And it's actually an amazing thing for you to come and see. And next slide. Next slide, please. So Sierra Leone have only one medical school. And this medical school is named the College of Medicine and Allied Health Science, which is part of 3 constituent universities that makes up the University of Sierra Leone. And as you can see from the picture, this is a library the building you see right now is a library, and this library is located at the Koso Town campus, which is the main campus, and this campus contains the pre-medical faculty, because here in Sierra Leone, before you enter into the medical field or the medical course, you have to go through the pre-medical stage, pre-medical 1 and pre-medical 2. So this campus is where they take their classes, and also it has other faculties like the faculty of nursing and the faculty of pre-pharmacy. And go to the next slide, please. The next slide. The next slide. The next slide. No, up, please. The next up.
Can you see the teaching hospital slide?
Yeah, I can see the teaching hospital, but I mean, let's go up to the first one, please.
Oh, the first slide. Okay.
Okay. This. Okay. That's the next slide. Okay. And the next one. Thank you. Yeah. So we have several teaching hospitals in Sierra Leone. Yeah. That's okay. We have several teaching hospitals in Sierra Leone, and this one is the main referral hospital, which actually is very iconic because it has a rich history. The colonial masters, the British, erected this fine hospital for us, and it's located in the center of the city. And we have several faculties that take classes here, and mostly these classes are the first year, second year, and third year medical classes, and also the clinical classes, which starts from fourth year, fifth year, and also the final year. But the fifth year actually does not take classes here, and we also have other faculties like the faculty of the other faculties actually that take classes here are the faculty of pharmacy, which also are part of the university. But as you can see, for our exchange programs, we normally undertake our postings, like the surgical posting, internal medicine, and other subspecialty in this hospital. So, can you please slide for me to the next one, please? The next slide. Okay, so this one is Oladoyin Children Hospital, which is also located in the eastern part of Freetown. And here is where the fifth year medical students take their classes, and also for pediatrics and obstetrics and gynecology postings. This is where they undertake these postings. And it is also a very iconic structure It was later renamed to Oladrim Children Hospital, formerly Cottage Hospital, and it's also something that you would like to come and see, the children and pregnant women, you know, all of those things can be found here. And
So can we go to the next slide, please? I guess I'll continue the presentation until the NEO comes back. Okay, this is the Chinese-friendly hospital. It came on board. It's supposed to be one where you can traditional medicine. It's an option for students here in Sierra Leone, but mostly students don't usually go through this process, but few who are interested get to learn traditional Chinese medicine. And the facility is actually run by both Sierra Leoneans and Chinese doctors, due to the fact that a lot of Sierra Leoneans obviously wouldn't understand the Chinese, but because of if these Sierra Leoneans work together with these Chinese doctors, they are able to interpret their language and all those things. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, this is a psychiatric posting. It's actually one of its kind, and it's the oldest in West Africa. This is where they take posting for all its students, and it's quite a lot. People have a lot of things to say about it, but it's a very interesting place. And as you can see, it was opened in 1820, and it's located in the eastern part of Sierra Leone. Next slide, please. Okay, as you can see, this is one of the hostels, the student lodging at Coastal Town campus. In this building, you have about 20 rooms and more. And downstairs, there's the canteen and the warden's office. This is where they host students that are usually at pre-med, but if you are in other years, usually they advise that you try to select a place in town, since the campuses have been they've been divided, but anyone can actually lodge in the hostels. Next slide, please. Our social programs. So we have this Takugama Chimpanzee Sanctuary. It's one of its kind here in Sierra Leone, and we try to preserve endangered species. And it's quite a place to go to because you get to see these species, and you get to also experience Sierra Leone's environment in a nutshell, the hilly part, because Sierra Leone is sorry guys, the network seems to be really annoying today. Anyway, talking about the Takugama Chimpanzee Sanctuary, they have rooms there where people can stay if you want to, you know, just to get the feel of nature and every kind. But meeting these species, getting not one-on-one contact, because some might be a bit dangerous, but you get to feel really what Sierra Leone is about and its content. Next slide, please. So our museums, we've got this railway museum and we got the Sierra Leone National Museum. The Sierra Leone National Museum is actually coupled up with Peace and Monument Park. Unfortunately, we couldn't attach that picture here, but it's quite a place that shows the rich history of Sierra Leone. It talks about our traditions, it talks about what we believe in, both our religious beliefs and our other many beliefs. This railway museum was created in order for people to be reminded that there were times when we had trains in Sierra Leone, and it's also one of its kind here. Next slide, please. Oh yes, just to mention, the Sierra Leone National Museum is actually located close to the country tree. So there is, you know, the rich history of Sierra Leone and everything is quite connected in that way. Now, hiking. So this is the famous Lester Peak. It's a cool hangout place. At night, it gets so cold that, you know, you might need a jacket to hang out there. So as you can see, this first picture here is a night view of the whole area. This is usually where people tend to hang out and all that. People use this hangout site a lot here in Sierra Leone. Like anyone would just go there and hang out, but it's quite a serene place to be. Like it gives such calm feelings. And this here is an area view of the Lester Peak. But we have other hiking sites also, like Sugarloaf, like Huarara Mountain. So there's lots of hiking to do whenever you come to Sierra Leone. Next slide, please. Our famous beaches. So we have the river number 2 and Tokyo Beach. These are just few out of many. As you can see, the sand in these beaches, they're very white, and we have resorts around these places. They're quite welcoming. Oh, I just love the beach. I love hanging out there with my friends, going there sometimes alone, just with a book and a pair of sunglasses because it gets quite hot sometimes. But even if you want to go there during the rain season, like you can still do that because the resorts are there. They have umbrellas around the places, and it's quite cool to be around the beach area. Next slide, please. So our transportations, we have different means of transportation, but usually if you want to get to the airport, this is the Freetown International Airport. We actually have one. Since our community is not that large, we have about a population of 7 million. This has been one of the oldest. They are trying to build another one, but this is what we are using for now. And to get to this airport, you can use sea water taxis, which are also boats, or they use ferries, and sometimes people use road. But when you use road, it takes longer. But using a sea water taxi gets you there faster. And using a ferry, it's not as fast, but you get to your destination. They have like specific times when the ferries leave the shore at Ferry Junction, that's where they call it. And the seawater taxis, they are located at Aberdeen. And to go using road, you can use any means, and you can pass through any of the districts to get there quickly. But using the roads, it's quite long, so people prefer to use ferries, and people prefer to use water taxis. So And the airport is actually located at Lunge. That is close to one of our districts, Botloko. And within Freetown, our transport means are usually taxis, buses, minibuses, and large buses, tricycles, and motorbikes. But they don't usually allow much motorbikes in the central part because they want to prevent accidents and all that. But we also have like car rides that you can rent for the day and all that stuff. But it's quite easy to transport yourself around Freetown because sometimes it gets so populated, but it's much easier to have a good walk. You get to see much places by that and all those things. The slide, please. So this is our cuisine, our famous cassava leaves. Okay, so a lot of people tend to misunderstand, like when they see this dish, they'll be like, what is that? But I tell you this, once you get your hands on this, you'll never want to let go. It's a famous cuisine, like most 99% of the population have this, like every now and then. And we have like this guy, Cleo Bobo, he's on Instagram and Facebook. The first time he came to Sierra Leone and tried this cassava, he was like, every time I come back, I just have to have a piece of it. So this is what Sierra Leone is about. We have a rich culture, we have rich food, we have very welcoming people, we have amazing things. So consider coming to Sierra Leone whenever you want to for exchanges. That's the final slide.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. I will just say something in Portuguese to them, and then can we do some Q&A really quickly? Is it okay?
Sure.
Eu
Sure, no
vou
problem.
enviar agora o formulário de presença, o segundo formulário de presença no chat. Bom, ele já está aberto, ele vai ficar aberto por 10 minutos. Desculpa todos esses problemas que deram hoje, e espero que tenha dado para aproveitar as apresentações que a gente conseguiu ter. Então, vamos fazer mais uns 10 minutos de perguntas e daí a gente encerra por hoje. So let's, Renato is gonna do like 10 minutes of questions for you, and then we can end the presentation for today, okay?
All right.
We really want to thank you, and we have some questions here that people from Brazil, the students here, wants to ask you.
Okay.
Is Freetown the only city that receives incomings?
Well, yes. Due to the fact that this is where medical schools and this is where we have all campuses. Like the Neo mentioned, we have only one medical school here in Sierra Leone and it's based in Freetown. But you have the opportunity to travel out to the other districts.
Okay, so you do have a national social program in
Yes.
Sierra Leone. Okay.
Yes, we do.
What are the biggest difficulties to go to Sierra Leone?
I can't really think of any. It's quite easy to come to Sierra Leone because they issue out visas. We are so welcoming to tourists, and so for that reason, it's not quite difficult. You might only experience maybe transportation issues, but I guess that's it. But apart from those, no, I can't think of any.
Okay. Can we participate in exchange research? How is the exchange of practical experiences?
Exchange research, yes, definitely. But SCORI takes hold of that. So they handle those type of researches, and practical experiences, they're quite direct. Like I said, we are all friendly and we are all ready to reach out to everyone. So whatever it is that you need, we'll reach out and we'll support you in any way that we can.
All right. And do you accept graduated students?
No, I don't think so. We usually accept just students that are in the medical field, because our students also, once they are graduated, I'm sure that they're out. But we're working on such exchanges where it will be available for people like those, because the experience, it's a whole different thing. So we'll definitely consider such.
Okay. Is language certificate required?
Not quite, but you must be able to at least understand English, because that is the language here. But usually we communicate through Creole, but us the students, we know the English, so it's better for you to be an English speaking student. That makes things easier, because we'll have difficulty with communicating if you're an English student or you don't understand English at all.
Gente, eu acho que ela perdeu a conexão. Só vamos esperar mais um tempinho para ver se ela aparece. Can you hear me?
Sorry about that, guys.
No problem. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I think you was talking about the language certification.
Yes, I was just saying that you won't really need a certificate to enter here. All that you might need to be able to understand English at least, and speak a bit of it too, because through English you can actually reach out to other people, because our local language here is Creole, and it's like pidgin English, so people tend to understand that better. So it's advantageous for you to understand English when you come around Sierra Leone, except if you'll be walking around with a translator, which are not quite around here.
And do you guys, accept another English besides English in the exchange programs?
Well, Yes, if we do have someone that can translate for us, definitely we would.
Okay. Do you offer SCOF programs? You know that public health exchange programs.
Well, we haven't since they quite just implemented it, but we are quite welcoming to ideas. So definitely it's an interesting thing to do, and we are fond of public health. So yes, why not?
Okay, we really want to thank you for your presentation here. It was wonderful to have you with us. Do you want to say something to us, to our students here?
Well, first of all, I just want to apologize for running late and keeping you guys, but I want to also thank you for your patience, and I'm quite happy to have presented alongside my new. And I hope when you think of exchanges, you think of Sierra Leone, and you think of just coming to our beaches and experiencing our culture and tasting our cassava leaves too. We'll be right here waiting for you.
Thank you. Então, gente, foi isso, as nossas apresentações de hoje. A gente quer pedir desculpa pelos problemas que a gente teve de conexão com o pessoal que foi apresentar os outros países. E a gente quer chamar vocês para assistir amanhã. Amanhã a gente vai ter Etiópia, Egito e Ruanda, também nesse mesmo horário, às 3 horas da tarde. Muito obrigado a todos pela presença.